Hello there. Thank you for watching. Move along now. Man, these humans, they're becoming a real problem. We're gonna have to deal with that at some point. March 28th, 2230. The winner of the presidential election is incumbent Charlie Gent. The election results were delayed as the votes had to be counted twice, and Charlie Gent won by only a few hundred votes. Charlie Gent has decided to keep Philip Hall as the head of the Science Directorate, even though they both plan on running in the next election. April 16th, 2230. The UMRS Sagan has found that Olbers II had a civilization that was similar in technological advancement to ours, but they had some form of world war, and much like Earth, they destroyed their planet over it. Unfortunately, their species did not survive like we did. August 5th, 2230. Philip Hall has attempted to convince President Charlie Gent to reconsider his stance on diplomatic relations with the divine Oned Quark commonality. After listening to Philip's concerns, Charlie Gent decides to continue attempts at peaceful diplomatic relations with the Oned, but the borders will remain closed until the Oned make some show of good faith. December 19th, 2230. We have developed ion thrusters. These electronic thrusters use beams of ions to generate thrust without the need for propellant. The Security Council has decided that the first peacekeeping division shall receive a complete refit to install fusion reactors and the new ion thrusters. June 27th, 2231. The UMRS Sagan has detected unusual electromagnetic radiation originating from Jalwar 1A. Captain Jonathan Brown has traced the radiation to a bunker, hiding a mega-computer the size of the Sagan itself. Our researchers suspect that the computer has been running for a few thousand years. It has been attempting to solve a single problem for the eternity of its life, and the problem makes no sense to us either. The away team gained access to the computer, and discovered that it is controlled by an AI. Captain Jonathan Brown believes we could reprogram the AI, and use this supercomputer to assist in our scientific research. October 24th, 2231. The UMRS Tyson has detected an alien vessel surveying planets in the Alvera system. We have initiated first contact protocols. January 14th, 2232. Deep within the atmosphere of the gas giant Soldar 3 are extremely long-lasting tornadoes. The massive vortexes move in the opposite direction of the planetary spin at about the same speed, making them appear to never move. The crew also believes that the tornadoes could be never-ending. March 22nd, 2232. The UMRS Tyson has discovered an unusually small gas giant. It appears the violent solar winds from the system's star are the cause for this tiny giant. The solar winds over millions of years have stripped away the outer and middle layers of the gas giant's atmosphere. April 20th, 2232. The UMRS Sagan and Captain Jonathan Brown have been tasked with investigating the discovery of artificial planet-spanning cave systems on Yoltip 1A. June 13th, 2232. The UMRS Einstein was in the middle of transmitting their findings about a temporal anomaly around Soldar 1 when suddenly we lost all contact. What at first was presumed to be a minor malfunction now points to a more serious problem. The Einstein has disappeared from all long-range sensors, and we have been unable to establish contact again. Search and rescue teams have been dispatched from Mars. July 26th, 2232. We have managed to intercept a communication from the drone the MCS Hawking found in the CO system many years ago. We have been able to translate and request communication from the probe. I am a surveyor probe, created and employed by the Aliquay Imperium to explore the galaxy and assess the situation for my creators. My primary goal is to identify and contain any potential threats posed by alien life to the future of the Aliquay. At the moment, this unit has performed 11,063 sweeps of the galaxy. Estimated completion time, -1,955 years. President Charlie Gent has expressed humanity's desire to learn more about the probe and its creators. The probe cut off the transmission. August 14th, 2232. It seems our linguists have suffered a major setback in translating the language of the aliens found in the Alva system. Unfortunately, what we took to be their language seems to actually be their form of music, so we have been sent back to square one. September 3rd, 2232. Philip Hall, head of the Science Directorate, has personally made a breakthrough in the field of nanofabrication, allowing us to use the very building blocks of the universe, essentially like Legos. This breakthrough will create entirely new fields of study in materials technology, and will revolutionize all fields of engineering, from civil to military. September 26th, 2232. Our scientists have developed a new probe, but this probe is remarkably larger than previous models, and this is because it is equipped with a hyperdrive, meaning it can be remotely controlled from an exceedingly large distance. This probe will also be equipped with a specially designed radar system that can track vessels from multiple star systems away, making this probe best suited for spying on pirates and any other hostile neighbor. The Security Council has ordered 2 of these probes as a test of its capabilities. The Blackbird class was designed in the early 2230s to be a spy probe. The class is named after the famous Earth aircraft, the SR-71 Blackbird. At length of 40 meters and width of 30 meters, it has no crew because it is designed as a probe that can be remote controlled from many star systems away. The class has no armament and is protected by dual Type 1 shield generators and minimal nanocomposite armor. The class is equipped with a fusion reactor, ion thrusters, and a specially designed radar system that allows for tracking of individual vessels from about 2 star systems away. January 7th, 2233. The aliens in the Alva system appear to be eager to establish communication with us. They have sent a large audio and visual transmission that appears to hold the key to translating their language. Our linguists are confident that they will be able to use this to learn their language. May 5th, 2233. We have detected another vessel of completely different design in the Alpha system. This new vessel appears to already be in contact with the first alien vessel we have found. June 6th, 2233. We have translated the alien language, and they call themselves the Liberated Commune of Boaz Sined. Our first impressions of the Phasivlin is that they are xenophiles and extremely religious. We have sent permanent diplomats to their homeworld, and they have sent some to Mars. June 22nd, 2233. The Phasivlin diplomats have given us translations to many different species, and as a result, we've made contact with the Ixodar Star Collective, which is some form of hive mind, the federal Shantarian planets, which are extremely militaristic and religious, the Libertine Kingdom of Fervarian, which is extremely militaristic and xenophilic, the Compact of Great Vanti, which are militaristic authoritarians, the Bensine Regency of Shiraka, which is extremely militaristic and religious, the Star Corporation of Galarum, which are extremely militaristic xenophiles, and finally the Tendrakian Hive, which is another form of hive mind. President Charlie Ghent is personally reaching out to each government and proposing embassies on Mars and their homeworlds. The Liberated Commune has also proposed a non-aggression treaty between our governments, and President Charlie Ghent has accepted. August 9th, 2233. Our scientists have taken our very crude holographic technology and developed holographic emitters that can generate shockingly realistic depictions of places and events within a small area by putting many emitters in an array called a holodeck. March 7th, 2234. President Charlie Ghent has ordered a station to be built in the Ep4 system to observe the Chim that live on Reach. April 13th, 2234. The Science Directorate has developed more resilient shield emitters, allowing us to convert more power into stronger shields without the emitters burning out. These Type 2 shields are 25% more effective than the previous model. July 12th, 2234. Our expedition team on Picus 6A has found tunnel systems that lead into a well-preserved 6-sided chamber, possibly leading into a bigger complex. Tools and equipment are being shipped to assist in breaching through the doors. January 12th, 2235. Captain Jonathan Brown's expedition team on Yultip 1A has found a stone plate with unknown markings on it. and a set of stone stairs that lead into a pit that has stairs on the other side, leaving a floor dozens of meters long in between them. While crossing the pit, one of the officers unwittingly stepped on a pressure plate, activating a trap mechanism. Lava quickly flooded the pit, with only half of the team making it out before it was too late. Captain Jonathan Brown was physically unharmed, but the loss of his crew has taken its toll, but he has decided to remain in command of the expedition. February 8th, 2235. Captain Theodore Wheeler has managed to gain access to one of the locked rooms, and it appears to be a storage facility. The team will thoroughly examine everything in this room before moving on to the next. March 30th, 2235. Search and rescue teams have found the UMRS Einstein, which made a crash landing on Soldar 1. The Einstein's data core was recovered, and it shows that the temporal anomaly that Captain Emily Wagner found suddenly expanded, capturing the vessel before evasive action could be taken. Then the anomaly ejected the vessel at Soldar 1, and being heavily damaged, there was nothing the crew could do. The escape pods were damaged to the point where they were unusable, and we have found no survivors. The Einstein will be recovered and salvaged back on Mars, as it is too damaged to be repaired. June 29th, 2235.
The 1st Peacekeeping Division has detected multiple unidentified vessels leaving Mars, and they are not responding to our hails. When our fleet arrives to investigate, most of the vessels have already entered hyperspace. There was one remaining vessel which we warned, if they charge their hyperdrive, we will disable the vessels unless they identify themselves. The vessel did not respond, but they also have not charged their hyperdrive, so boarding parties are being assembled. The fleet then detected a massive energy buildup in the vessel, but it was not caused by the hyperdrive. It was their reactor overloading. Boarding parties disembarked and the fleet was ordered out of the blast radius. Unfortunately, not all of our ships made it away and they sustained significant damage. Salvage teams have been sent in an attempt to find the vessel's data core, and if we're lucky, we'll find something.
January 16th, 2236. Captain Theodore Wheeler has finished exploring all of the rooms, and we believe that this was just an outpost and not a planet that they had fully colonized. We did find some things of technological value, but we will try and locate one of their colonized planets. The UMRS Hawking will continue exploring new systems now that the expedition has concluded. March 16th, 2236. Through exploiting the method by which shields interfere with electromagnetic waves, we believe it is possible to selectively bend light and sensor beams in order to hide an entire vessel, or at least make it extremely hard to target. Sadly, these cloaking shields require extreme amounts of power to remain active, so they would only be activated for short periods of time. February 12th, 2237. President Charlie Gant has negotiated a free migration treaty with the Liberated Commune, which will allow Phasiflin and humans to freely travel between both governments' space. February 28th, 2237. To commemorate the 20th anniversary of the formation of the United Martian Republic, President Charlie Gant is visiting all major cities on Mars. He is also making his first trip to New Berlin. The Security Council has ordered the 1st Peacekeeping Division to escort the President and the Vice President, since the threat of pirate activity has been increasing. August 29th, 2237. The Presidential Convoy entered the Moodstrom system. The 1st Peacekeeping Division detects a fleet of unknown vessels that match the design of the ships detected around Mars. The unidentified fleet refuses to respond to hails and is charging towards the convoy. The flagship, the UMRS Tomcat, fires a warning shot at the fleet. The transport carrying the President and the Vice President breaks off from the convoy with 2 escorts and tries to leave the system. The enemy fleet launches torpedoes at the presidential transport, completely ignoring the Peacekeeping Division, which promptly opens fire. The UMRS Bearcat places itself in front of the torpedoes to protect the transport. Unfortunately, they were fusion torpedoes, which were classified as a weapon of mass destruction by Congress. The UMRS Bearcat was completely destroyed by the torpedoes. The enemy fleet has lost 3 of its 7 ships, but they continue to only target the transport, and 2 of the ships managed to break out past our defensive line and proceed directly to the presidential transport and fire torpedoes. The transport shields have completely failed, so the last escort, the UMRS Stingray, sacrifices itself to intercept the incoming fusion torpedoes. The two enemy vessels are now on a collision course with the transport, and they appear to be out of torpedoes. In an effort to save the President and the Vice President, the transport surrenders, but the vessels don't stop, and one of them collides with the transport, causing the reactors on both ships to explode. After this, the remainder of the enemy fleet attempts to escape, but the 1st Peacekeeping Division follows and destroys all but one of the vessels. While this was happening, back on Mars, the heads of the Security Council and the Science Directorate were taken to the presidential bunker. The President and the Vice President have been confirmed dead. The presidential line of succession in the Martian Constitution is the Vice President, then the head of the Science Directorate, then the head of the Security Council. Following this line, the acting president is Philip Hall, head of the Science Directorate. He will serve as acting president until the next election. October 6, 2237. The Martian Congress has allocated emergency funds to the Security Council and the Martian Navy, as well as investing heavily in military technologies, like better weapons and shields, maybe even new ship designs. The Security Council has ordered 7 new Tomcat-class vessels as an addition to the 1st Peacekeeping Division. December 5th, 2237. Martian scientists have developed containment fields. Sadly, these fields are not very stable. We have only been able to stabilize a very small field barely big enough to hold a mouse. We believe that if we could stabilize a larger field, they could be used on board a starship to seal a hull breach or be used to hold a prisoner. January 5th, 2238. One of our diplomats that is on Mars carelessly misplaced a bundle of classified materials, including our encryption key, which is forbidden from being taken out of any government facility. All government agencies and the military are scrambling to change our encryption methods. The diplomat that lost the key has been removed from office and is currently under investigation by the Security Council. January 22nd, 2238. Captain Jonathan Brown has found another large cave system on the planet of Yoltip 1A. There was a lever on the wall, and further investigation reveals that it was connected to an elaborate system that holds up the roof. Essentially, if the lever would have been pulled, the cave would have collapsed on the team. February 5th, 2238. President Philip Hall has signed an executive order that places the Chim and the planet of Reach under the protection of the United Martian Republic until they achieve spaceflight or request that we leave their system. April 17th, 2238. The Divine Oned Quark Commonality has stationed multiple fleets directly on our border, and we only detected them because of our spy probe we have in the Pecos system. It appears that they did not want us to know that they had their fleets there, as they did their best to hide them from us. This has raised many concerns among the members of the Security Council. January 4th, 2239. A flotilla of civilian transports carrying Estuani refugees that are fleeing from the Tendrakian hive have arrived on our borders, and are requesting permission to settle on one of our planets. The Martian Congress has no laws dictating our response, so the decision falls to the President. President Philip Hall decides to allow all the refugees and grant them citizenship. The only requirement is that they give us all the information they have on the Tendrakian hive. This stipulation was requested by the Security Council, as it perceives the hive mind as a major threat, since all they want to do is eat organic life and nothing else. February 1st, 2239. The Serene Upo Praknerman Sovereignty has translated our language and opened diplomatic relations with us. Our first impressions are that they are extreme pacifists and religious. May 27th, 2239.
Luck's on our side, and we gained access to the data core from the enemy fleet. It shows that some of the vessels were built on Mars and used weapons taken from our military supply hubs, as well as some deuterium stores used in our fusion reactors. It looks like this deuterium was used to make the illegal fusion torpedoes. So the navigational logs were erased, which means we have not been able to decipher where the fleet was based. But we do know that it's within a few systems of New Berlin. The 1st Peacekeeping Division is currently patrolling the area in an attempt to find them.
June 6th, 2239. We have developed more powerful lasers that emit electromagnetic radiation at a wavelength that appears blue to humans. These blue lasers can deal 150% more damage than a red laser could. July 14th, 2239. The death of President Charlie Gent has caused a rethink of how we defend our vessels. This has led to the development of the Sentinel Point Defense Grid, which acts as a close-in weapon system designed to shoot down as many incoming torpedoes as possible. A new corvette has been designed to utilize this new defensive weapon system. The Meteor class was designed in the late 2230s to be a picket ship capable of screening a fleet from a moderate amount of incoming torpedoes. The class is named after the famous Earth aircraft, the Gloucester Meteor. At a length of 175 meters and a width of 100 meters, it has a crew complement of 45 spread across 15 decks. The class is armed with 2 blue laser turrets and is protected by dual Type 2 shield generators, minimal nanocomposite armor, and a Sentinel defense system. The class is equipped with a fusion reactor, ion thrusters, and an advanced radar system. August 25th, 2239. Captain Jonathan Brown has discovered a bunker, and it is remarkably easy to enter compared to the others. There are many humanoid bodies littered throughout the bunker. The team discovered what appears to be a training hall, and Brown accidentally activated some form of training exercise. There were spikes and swinging objects that almost killed the captain, but he was able to dodge them and reach a lever that turned off the death trap. January 1st, 2240. The presidential election has started, and the 2 main candidates are incumbent Philip Hall and Captain Theodore Wheeler. Voting will start March 25th on Mars and New Berlin. The winner will become president on April 1st. Thank you for watching. Please check out Cornish Rapbeard, his link is down below. I also have links to a Discord that I run with Cornish Rapbeard and Jamie Plays, and a link to my Patreon. Patrons get access to special things, including making decisions in the current playthrough, by acting as part of the government. Once again, thank you all for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.
Live long and prosper.